we are reflections of their oppression, and at the same time we're the new form of resistance that's coming out of this next generation.
On behalf of Kabataang Makabayan Pro-People Youth, we stand in solidarity to demand an end to the unjust U.S. war and occupation in Iraq. We are united for genuine peace, freedom, and democracy.
The youth stands here today with all of you to condemn this deception that the Bush administration continues to propagate. We detest their arrogance and blatant disregard for the Iraqi people's sovereignty.
We join and raise our voices with the thousands of people here and across the nation. We demand money for jobs, education, and healthcare, not for the imperialist war, occupation, or intervention as in Iraq, Afghanistan, and in the Philippines.
The U.S. continues to spend taxpayer billions on wars of aggression for oil and profit.
Today, the Bush administration speaks about so-called freedom and democracy in Iraq and Afghanistan. But in reality, the war and occupation of these countries have resulted in the deaths of thousands of innocent civilians, torture and abuse of prisoners, and robbery of huge oil resources.
Our friends and family continue to die unnecessarily as Bush continues to place profits over people. But thousands of youth are resisting.
The resistance of the youth and the people will continue to intensify. We the youth are not blind to the fact that we in the working class are being used for imperialist interests.
$170 billion has already been allocated for war, and $200 billion is needed to rebuild the Gulf Coast. Where will the money come from?
People are people. They have rights. They have the right to eat 3 meals a day. They have the right to education. They have a right to health. They have a right to live in a house with running water. Now, you have a system imposed on the peoples, and they're denied of that. It's called free market. And they're denied of their basic rights as people and as treated as consumers. And they're denied of their right to create, to build a community. They're no longer people, but simply consumers. When you consume everything, how can you generate anything new or create anything new? Art, culture, history.
There's a lack of relevant education being taught in schools, and at the same time, schools in disenfranchised communities still face overcrowding and are forced to function without adequate resources.
The budget for education will have the deepest cuts, leaving students without books, without teachers. So many of our friends and family are coerced into believing that the military is their only option. And even if students graduate from college, they are left overwhelmed and unstable. But although we face all of this uncertainty, we know that youth can and must be part of the solution.
This program as a form of education, and as we all know, a lot of these discussions don't take place in the universities and the schools. So we gotta bring the class out here on the radio, in the streets, and continue to do this in the community, where it's needed, where it's felt, where it's appreciated. So thank you again.
Before we proceed any further, let me throw a monkey wrench in. What if we decide we ain't satisfied what we left in? Schools overcrowded, unemployment in the urban blocks, veterans that sacrifice that all don't get a fair shot. Brown man, gray hair, wonder how they got here. Phony patriotic American folks do not care. I swear, it's gonna be a fight for resolve, dog. We've been on it strong way before Jose Sal, dog. Ooh, y'all really got me chewing on a fat now. Los Angeles Revolution, Cadillac style. Bookie told me we was gonna fight till we win. Aw shit, here come Kabataang Makabayan nene. Red flags in the wind, megaphones to the chin. AJLPP flags on the back of my Schwinn. I am on the ground and let the world know I know. From Haiti to Echo Park to the Philippines, got it sewn.